Welcome back, everybody, to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. I'm Grumpy Grandpa Gaming, and this is episode 3 of our Federal Spring of 61 campaign in version 1.12. Now, first things first, we do have a few more viewer units to add in here. So go on up the trade arc real fast. I've also transferred out a lot of the units that I've already formed up to form a new core. And we'll be going over that also, and I do have a few more diary entries to read into the historical record for this playthrough. So first things first, where are they? We have the Buffalo Soldiers for Jeremy Steed out of Kansas, led by Colonel George Sykes. We have the Royal Black Watch from Ohio under the command of William T.H. Brooks for Rogue Saber. The 3rd Port Huron Infantry out of Michigan under Thomas Stockton for Mike Gonzalez. For Matthew Gonzalez, there was not a character in the game with that name. It was an avatar. I had to create it before the campaign started, so sorry about that. There's just no way for me to add him at this point. Next up, we have the 2nd East Surreys under Gilbert Reynolds out of New York. They are for Paul Reynolds. Next up, we have the Jersey Devils out of Jersey under command of Philip Kearney, and they are for MJ27. Next up, we have the Harper's Ferry Raiders under command of John P. Hatch, also out of New York. They are for Hung Up Ear. And next up, I think I already transferred them out. Yeah. I have to go back and cover them. Actually, go there right now. We have Higgs Volunteer Battery out of Connecticut, commanded by Oris Ferry, and they are for John Higby. Next up, we have the Georgia Loyalist Mountain Rifles under command of Montgomery Meigs. Is also a Georgian that stayed loyal to the federal cause, and they are for Johnny Grayson. They're raised out of Maine, but you can just assume they're all Georgians that came north of the border. And finally, we have the Death Hussars under command of John McLaren from Illinois, and they are for Krieg Guardsmen. Alright, next up, like I said, we do have some diary entries to read into the record here. Once again, if you have a unit in the game and you'd like to write diary entries for the unit and add a lot more flavor to them as the game goes on, please send them in. Sorry if the screen just scrolled away like that. I just went off screen to pull up these passages here. Alright, Diary of the Pennsylvania Regulars. 28 June 1861. Recruitment has been opened for the brigade formed by the 1st, 3rd, 12th, and 14th Pennsylvania Volunteer Cavalry Regiments. We've already seen a large number of volunteers from across the state, those that are veterans of the Mexican-American War, others who are naive and looking for adventure. I have orders to take my command to join with Training and Doctrine Command in Syracuse. From there we'll be assigned to what army, I am not sure. We shall see what the future brings for me and my command, now called the Regulars, a name proposed by Lieutenant Colonel Ambrose, commander of the 14th, upon seeing the high number of veterans that have joined the ranks. G. Blake. And diary entry from Michael Rain. A little bit of a backstory for Michael Rains and the Bloody First. Michael Rains started his military career at the age of 18 when he applied for the Military Academy of West Point to become an officer of an infantry brigade. Michael showed very promising results from his supervisor. However, he developed rivalries between two very powerful students, Lee and Grant, which unfortunately caused him to be 3rd in his class. Upon graduating from West Point in 1835 as a major and transferred to command of staff of Lieutenant Colonel Henry Burton. Michael served in the 1st New York Volunteer Regiment under command of Lieutenant Colonel Henry Burton following the Mexican War. On July 21st, the 1st New York Volunteer Regiment landed peacefully in the city of La Paz. Lieutenant Colonel Henry Burton received word to return to USS Lexington and discuss the Mexican surrender, and he placed Michael in charge of the 1st New York Volunteer Regiment consisting of 115 men. Michael ordered the regiment to fortify the city of La Paz, and on November 16th, a brigade of 200-strong Mexican militia attacked the weak but well-fortified 1st New York Volunteer Regiment, now under the temporary command of Major Michael. Michael's first combat experience was a surprise and bloody start of his career. Out of the 115 men of the 1st New York Volunteer Regiment, only 10 died and 5 wounded, resulting in the regiment to only have 100 men, but the Mexican militia suffered 150 casualties. The Mexican militia withdrew, and Michael wrote a letter to Lieutenant Colonel Henry Burton on the battle. After the reading of the letter, Lieutenant Colonel Henry Burton was surprised by Michael's leadership and wired a message to Washington, D.C. on giving Major Michael a recommendation for promotion. With Major Michael still in command of the 1st New York Volunteer Regiment with only 100 men, the Mexican militia with a force of 500 men laid siege on La Paz on November 21st. The Mexican militia bombarded the garrison with a 4-pounder, and for 5 hours the 1st New York Volunteer Regiment under temporary command of Major Michael repelled the attacks. The 1st New York Volunteer Regiment suffered 70 killed and 6 wounded, but again the Mexican militia suffered 250 casualties from the 500 men. On November 28th, the remaining Mexican militia captured an old Mexican barrack and raised the Mexican flag, but Major Michael led a personal counterattack on the barrack with the remaining 1st New York Volunteer Regiment, resulting in the recapture of the barrack and a further loss of 100 Mexican militia. Major Michael counterattack resulted in only 10 men of the 1st New York Volunteer Regiment being wounded. On December 8th, the day after the Mexican surrender, Lieutenant Colonel Henry Burton returned to the 1st New York Volunteer Regiment in La Paz. He was shocked to see the men saluting in their bloody uniforms, and Major Michael gave his final report to Lieutenant Colonel Henry Burton. Lieutenant Colonel Henry Burton gave the 1st New York Volunteer Regiment the nickname the Bloody First, and handed Major Michael a letter from Washington, D.C. The letter reads, to Major Michael, following the events of the Battle of La Paz and the subsequent siege of La Paz, that you have shown extreme courage and leadership against overwhelming odds, while being outnumbered 3-1. It's my great honor to promote you to the rank of general. Signed by President James K. Polk. Alright, once again, like I said, you would like to add diary entries, flavors for your units, please do so. It adds a lot more interest to the game. It really gives you a reason to follow some of these units around as the stories creep up and expand during the game. Alright, now we're going to talk about the one big change here. If you notice on the screen, I have renamed all the corps following the standard corps numbering system. The old Western Theater is now 1st Corps, Ohio 2nd Corps, 3rd Corps, for Pennsylvania 4th Corps, Army Northeast Virginia. The new 5th Corps is going to be the 1st Corps of the Army that's going to be invading Texas. This is where most of your units have ended up as of yet. This corps is under the command of my avatar, Grumpy Gruntpaw. So, 1st Division, under Philip St. George Cook. We have Mike Grunts under Cochran, the Janzika Legion, 79th New York Highlanders, and the Liberty Bells. 2nd Infantry Division, under Brigadier John Wool. We have the Bloody First, the Ohio Blue Jackets, and the 1st U.S. Regulars. Misspelled that one. I should say 3rd, not 4RD. 3rd Infantry Division under Sumner has the Derby Hellfighters, 50th Iowa River Boys, and the Viking Brigade. 1st Cavalry Division has Bethlehem Steel, Cape Cod Cavalry, and the Bloody Sabres. 5th Division, which is got to be renamed, First Arty Division. I'm going to be renumbering all the divisions throughout all the corps. We have the Iowa Sodbusters, Higgs Volunteers, 1st Illinois Artillery Battery, and the 1st Maine Artillery Battery. Those two are just generic names I issued out, and we are raising a force of engineers to join them out of Maine. That'll be the 1st Maine Engineers. As the other units start to come online, like I think there's a division ready to go, I'll start forming a 6th Corps, which will be part of the Texas Force. And then all other VU units after that will be folded into whatever commands are needing more troops. So everybody's going to be seeing a lot of fighting, hopefully. All right. Moving on. Last episode, we did see... Yep, where'd my notes go? Battle of the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal, which was, I almost screwed the pooch on because I should have counterattacked earlier instead of letting the battle develop the way it did. But we still achieved a major victory out of it. Problem is now, 3rd Corps is not in a fighting condition. And my 4th Corps, which I still don't understand why, they have eager morale, greed, and readiness, and is refusing to engage Hampton's Corps. I think it's probably a good thing. They're at 28,000 men, going up to 30,000. We only have 11,788 in this corps. It's going up to 20,700. But some of those units are a ways off. 17 days, 26 days, 21. So 39 days. Where are they coming from? Illinois. And I do have more troops going into 3rd Corps. And they're still a little ways off also. 35 days. That one's only 10 days. But we do have a numbers issue up here at the moment. If I get the engagement to start in such a way where 4th and 3rd can support each other, it should not be an issue. But for right now, especially because 4th is not engaging. They're still retreating away from when I ended the last episode out of disgust. But hopefully we'll get that combat going this episode. And we should start moving the 5th Corps down towards Texas once the last units transfer in the next 10 days or so. So I'll be back with the next major incident. Alright, it's now August 9th and we have ourselves a big engagement here. One I don't have very high hopes for, to be quite honest with you. So our 4th and 3rd Corps, under overall command of Patterson, bringing 25,161 infantry, 308 cavalry, 36 guns. Our 3rd Corps is 23 hours away. Oh, God. Is facing off against Hampton's Corps, Army of Maryland, with 30,316 men. Jackson's Corps, Army of Maryland, 24,838 men. And the Army of Maryland headquarters, all under command of Jeb Stewart. They're bringing a total of 51,665 infantry, 2,800 cavalry, and 43 guns. There's no way in hell we can win this. No, withdraw. Yeah, we gotta withdraw from that. That is not something. We gotta separate the corps out. We can't fight all of that at one time. How the hell are they only 11 hours away when they're all the way down here? They're down at Leesburg. They're more than 11 hours away. What the hell? Now, we did retake Frederick. We gave ourselves a few more days for the troops to arrive, but they're still a long ways off, some of these guys. 2 days for them. Another 28 days for that brigade. And 9, yeah, we're still a long way off from being able to fight these guys. Ugh. If we can get Hampton's Corps separated a little further from the rest of their forces, we should be able to take that on at least, but not all of them together. Alright, just an update there. I'll be back. Alright, it's now September 1st, so it is time for the monthlies. I did skip the August monthlies at the start of the episode just because I forgot to do them. But it's time to go through them once again. Economy. Current rating of our nation is A+, which is very good. Our debt increased by 50 million. We did cut 2 more bonds. I ordered a lot of weapons. Our current economy cycle is expansion. Wealth of our population is below average and increasing compared to the previous month. Our tax revenues decreased by 11 million, but we did suck a lot of men into the army. So that's a lot of people not paying taxes right now. Total export volume over the last month was 315 going out, with 273 coming in. And average corp production over the last 3 months was 629 million to change a negative 25 million. Our economy lacks iron, leather, food, all the same stuff. As I always say, you're never going to catch up on the shortages. It is a fool's errand. You can see here, as we're spending money, the rebels spend money. We've taken a few big hits here, money-wise. So we will slowly start addressing that, just not quite yet. Still trying to get the military to where I want it. Then we should be able to coast and bring our monies back up and probably start buying back some bonds. Intelligence. According to our intelligence sources and analysis, the Confederate government is currently discussing King Cotton 2. They've completed the administration reform project. They've probably done a few more besides that. Relations with Great Britain are at 20%. It says they haven't recruited anybody, but I'm not so sure if that's true or not. And they start construction on another ship. Morale of their army is currently at 96%, change plus 3%. Come over here into strategy. National morale is 89 for us, 98 for the rebels. National support's 90 for us to their 95. Morale of their armies, we're at 96 to their 98 to their 96. Men fielded, we have 112,226 in the field. They have 133,591 in the field. So the rebels actually have more men in the field than we do. Though a good chunk of these forces, about 60,000 of that is up in 5th and 6th Corps, which are getting ready to go into Texas. Total casualties so far. Battles won, we've won 3, they've won 2. The 2 are probably, I think, fortification battles, because they did take Fortress Monroe. So, and I think they captured another fort. So those 2 wins are 2 forts they captured. Total casualties so far are 5,651 for us, 8,433 for the rebels. All right, let's come on over into policies. We're still working on Military 2, and that'll be done in one day. So I could have held off on that. As soon as that is done, I'm actually going to be taking the Regulars Act to get us that small force of regulars, and they're going to be part of that army going into Texas. They're not going to be Field Combat Command. They're actually going to be following around, taking down fortifications. They're going to be more of a small siege force going around taking down fortifications. I'm going to be bypassing with the larger forces. Projects. So it only shows the administration reform policies I've taken so far, but we've taken, as you all know, I have the Springfield Rifles. I just took Parrots at the August monthly. So we're producing Parrots now. All right, so I can take a level of weapons production, speed up weapons production a little bit. Farm mechanization. This is one I've been waiting for. This will start mechanizing the farms and free up more volunteers for us, as we're actually almost out of volunteers. So we'll get that rolling now. There we go. And I'm not bothering with Hall's carbines or suppressed population. Not yet, at least. We don't need it yet. All right, now as I said, I did start forming 6th Corps with some more of the viewer units, so we'll go over our 6th Corps real fast and show where everybody's units are at. Oh, don't tell me the game just froze. It's chopping up a bit here. All right, 6th Corps is now fully flushed out minus the Engineer Brigade. I got to figure out which state that's going to come out of, because there's just not enough volunteers anywhere really at this point. So the 4th Infantry Division under Miles has the Midwest Raiders, the Lake Erie Rifles, and the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. The 5th Infantry Division has the Jersey Devils, 5th New York Volunteers, and the Royal Black Watch. 6th Infantry Division has the 3rd Port Huron Infantry, the Georgia Loyalist Mountain Rifles, and Blucher's Brigade. The Artillery Division, none of these are view units, but I'll just go through the names, has the 1st Native Battery, 1st New Jersey Battery, 1st Ohio Battery, and the 1st Colorado Battery. Cavalry Division under Harvey Brown. I think I got to change him. Yeah, I got to change who. Yeah, I got to find a cavalryman to lead that. Yeah, the Raincoat Riders, the Yorkshire Yeomanry, and the Black Hoof Cavalry. And I did send one cavalry brigade off to 4th Corps to replace the U.S. Cavalry Regiment that's here with 392 men. They're basically useless at this point. And that is the Pennsylvania Regulars are on their way to McDowell's command of 4th Corps. And we're just waiting on a few more units. There's not many units left in Tradoc. This one's a placeholder. Just waiting on the Buffalo Soldiers, Death Hussars, Harper's Ferry Raiders, and the Second East Surreys to come online. And they're probably going to go to one of the other corps, probably 4th Corps. I need the numbers down there, like really, really soon. So, yeah, not every viewer unit made it into the invasion army. All right. I think that covers everything for the monthly update for now, so I'll be back with the next major incident. Alright, it's now September 16th, and we do have our next engagement coming up here. I finally have the men in place to take on the Army of Maryland, so in we go again. So once again, it's our 3rd and 4th Corps with 41,867 infantry, 2,430 cavalry, and 39 guns under Robert Patterson. Going up against Hampton's Corps Army of Maryland, Jackson's Corps Army of Maryland, and the Army of Maryland headquarters underneath command of Jeb Stuart with 52,681 infantry, 3,000 cavalry, and 43 guns. They do have a 10,000 man, 11,000 man number advantage on us and a slight gun advantage, where their big advantage is going to be on their weaponry. They still don't have enough rifles to issue out to everybody, so these men are all still armed with smoothbores. No mixed muskets, but regular smoothbore Springfields and Harper Ferries. So I pushed into this fight, so we're obviously taking it, so I will see you all on the other side of load screen. Welcome everybody to the second Battle of Frederick. Once again, we are on the Sharpsburg map, or the Antietam map, whichever you prefer to call it. And we have both our corps on the field right now. The rebels have 1 corps on the field, but 1 more 9 hours away. So Hampton's on the field. Jackson is on his way. So first priority of business is taking this entry point down here at our cavalry. This way I know, because they have these 3 entry points here, I know they're not going to be entering from there. I can control where they enter, and that should be from one of these 2 points. If he's supposed to enter from this point, that should delay him long enough for me to knock out the 1 corps without having to fight the other. I just got to figure out where I'm going to cross. Probably up here. There's no way I'm fighting across these crossing points here. It's a death trap. You got the canal here, which this little canal here does a lot to mess up unit movements, and I really don't want to mess with that. So yeah, I want to come in from up here and sweep down from the Shepherd House down past the schoolhouse. So yeah, we'll be coming in from this direction. Just the cavalry's going to be separated for a little bit. Yeah, and that's how we'll do it. So I'm going to get my troops on the road, get them in motion, and I will come back in once I have a sighting on the rebels. Alright, it's now 1910 of day 1. We finally have some rebels sided, so it looks like they decided to defend on this side of the river. I did do a slight change of plans. I did send my 3rd Corps down this way, as I was hoping to distract the rebel AI while my 4th Corps moved into position across the river. And just slowly getting there. I think Runyon might lose command of his division, as the corps I started marching an hour after this one actually started bypassing him. So he might not hold his division too much longer. I'm going to slowly... Ooh, wrong division. Nope. Give me time. Moving a position over here. This is probably going to force them back across the river, but I should be able to use my artillery to bombard them and keep them distracted. So we did seize this point here, and there was actually another point here I had to seize, but neither one delayed the reinforcing corps, so they were not coming in from either of those points, but we had to take them just to be sure. So once again, my 2 artillery divisions are lagging way behind everybody else, but they're both going coming down this way. I'm not sending the artillery across the river here with the attack. So day's going to be over soon. Forces are still going to be on the move, so it's going to be a few hours into day 2 before my artillery comes up. I'm probably going to have to wait for them before I get anything started. Yeah, we're going to lose daylight here in 40 minutes, and nobody will be in position, so it's going to be a day 2 battle start. So I'll see you all there. All right, it's now 0700 of day 2. Jackson's Corps is on the field, and once again, as per my rules, I am not making any shifts in deployments on my troops. They're going to keep on with the orders they have from the previous day. Play here. Looks like they're still hanging on to this position here. Maybe they haven't noticed my troops up here yet, I'm hoping. So it's going to be a while before the artillery comes up. That's a shame. I would like them up here bombarding this position. As their artillery doesn't have good sighting, so they're really not firing at me, I would love to get my artillery up and firing at them. Looks like it's going to be a little bit longer before I get anything going off here. Now I got to get sighting on Jackson's Corps, which is probably here or here. Could be in either location. I'm going to start moving 4th Corps. You know, still waiting for this one division to come up. Runyon is about to lose his damn job. Probably move him up to this wooden line here. And hopefully Jackson's back here somewhere, and I can cut this corps off and hammer it down with 3rd Corps while I hold his corps back behind Shepherdstown. That's what I'm hoping to do anyway. We'll see if I can actually pull it off. So I'll be back. All right, it's now 8:52 in the morning of day 2. We have our first shots fired out of the skirmishers here. And our predicament's a little worse than I thought it was, as now we have the rebels sighted. We have a better idea of their numbers, and they actually have about a 20,000 man advantage on us. And it looks like they know that, and they're coming out to fight. My artillery's still not up. I was delaying my attack until the artillery came up and started bombarding here. Looks like that was a bad call, as they are... We did have this corps flanked. Now it's turning to face us. That was probably... Should have pushed that attack in. And these guys have my skirmishers outranged. That's awesome. And get it called his, and that'll make things a little bit easier. I am not expecting things to go well for us on this side of the river. Possibly on this side, though. Not really sure what they are doing right now. Skirmishers forward a little bit here. If these guys are caught on the other side of that canal, I could take advantage of that. With this number disparity, I'll take every advantage I can get. I'm not used to being outnumbered as the Union, to be honest. Doing some damage to that brigade. Problem is, these brigades, my brigades don't have that much experience, so their resilience is not very high. Looks like we're doing some good damage over here, though. You guys in the woods to take these boys on. I have a feeling this one's going to be long, drawn out, and fairly bloody. Good boys taking down this battery, please. What the hell? Okay, we're firing on them, so I'll take it. They're stuck down here. They got to come all the way around here to get out of that. Artillery division's all over itself as usual. I do not have any good artillery in this force either. Everybody's got basically 6-pounders, I believe. Some more skirmishers, please. This brigade really can't afford to send any out. A lot of these brigades had their enlistments come up, so they are under strength. I've tried I sent them brigades just to give them reinforcement numbers, but not everybody's up to strength yet. Come on, guys. Close in and engage. Actually, getting ready to break this brigade already. Their morale cannot be that good. Oh, their morale's at 46. Ooh. Push you boys up to the fence line. That would be helpful. You're not going to have a fence, but... will put us in a good position. Detachment, all right. Push into the woods. Thought they would have broken this detachment already. I gotta start getting rid of all these muskets. I got weapons on the way. Standardization on the Springfield is coming up. It actually takes me less than 30 days to get 10,000 of them now. I think it's down in the 20s. It's Churchill's iron. There you go. Turn your flanks to my oncoming brigades. I will take that. Your skirmishers, please. They're out of the way. Yep, if anybody's wondering what today's battle brew is, it is Highland Park 18. I love the smell of that. A little jumpy here. Some more skirmishers, please. I'll help with Hayes detachment. There we go. Break that battery before you fall back, please, gentlemen. You close in on them. Looks like my skirmishers are giving better than they're taking for once. It's usually the other way around. Hello, field. Bring your division forward, please. This is actually the division. This is the strongest division with almost 9,000 men, so that's the one I'm going to push in on the attack. Right now, those brigades are just setting up the combat line. Good gentlemen. Pushing on that battery before they send skirmishers out to grab it, please. And we'll be on the flank of this brigade. Alright. Let's push you boys into the woods. don't think I need to push these guys forward just yet. There's too much right here in front of them for me to do that. Alright, well, Arnold, hang in there. One coup, push onto their flank, please. Why are you showing us flanked out? Problem is, it's hard to see what's going on in the woods. Oh yeah, these guys have rifles. That's an issue. Brigade, push in. Straight ahead. Took so long for my artillery to come up, I actually forgot about them. That's what I want to see. That's a nice range fan. Get to work, boys. As long as these guys are staying out of the fight over here, I'm happy. Battery's not aimed at them, so we should see them off fairly quickly. Push in, damn it. The range is the issue. Another big boy brigade. There they go. Very good. We are winning this. Slowly but surely, we are winning this. Push in on them, please. Get rid of that cavalry brigade. I wish this wasn't so jumpy. Not a lot of orders going out right now, so I think it's more of a memory issue. It's not jumping as bad as when a lot of orders go out. Still can't push it over here. That's just too dangerous. Oh, good. Stuart's cavalry's gone. They retreat or they... Oh, disperse. Okay, they retreated. Don't appear to be doing too much damage to this brigade. I can't do that with that brigade still sitting there. I'm getting ready to break, though. Hopefully it'll go away soon. And one LZ gone. Bayonets, boys. Let's move them. That brigade broke. Bayonets, move in. Churchill's iron, get some vengeance. Who's wounded? Hancock is wounded. Job is done. I got no complaints there. Go get the Rockbridge artillery, please. This is going a lot smoother than I thought. Except over here. I kind of knew this was going to happen. See who breaks first. They had the numbers advantage, they had the weapons advantage. What they did not have was the morale advantage. And thus having a morale advantage is what allowed us to win this one. It's not over yet, but it's fairly close. Ooh, we are racking up the casualties against them. Problem is, I don't see any brigade particularly that stands out to me for this fight. We're in canister range. Let's go get them. Now these guys just want to lay here too. All right, boys. Bayonets again. Get rid of this brigade. Bayonets. Can we not get this battery down here? There we go. Push them away, boys. Push them away. All right, swing around, please. You guys just sitting here taking canister shots. Let's back you boys up. No reason to punish ourselves over here. This battle is over. We just got to finish off what's over here, not risk the rest of our fighting forces. Let's get set up to finish this off. Bringing my units a little closer. All my commanders are where I need them to be. Delafield, rally that brigade, please. So I'm going to give another brigade a name in this battle, but none of them have stood out. Division commander. Is that Delafield? Yeah, he's got to move up. You guys go hit these retreating units, see if we can't bag some prisoners. Boys back at long range. Regulars, come up here, please. Damn retreating units are distracting my men again. I hate it when that happens. Who you belong to? Okay. Alright, Ben. You know, sometimes the charge icon is stuck on with the cavalry, and this time it's the fire icon. Oh, there we go. Right down the road and get into them. Look at that battery. Oh, who's dead? Blake, my cavalry commander has just been killed. Are you kidding me? Oh, don't tell me this. Oh, is that cavalry glitch again? I think it might be. Damn it. That brigade's broken. Turn on this one, please. There's that damn cavalry glitch. They are not retreating, so I gotta avoid that unit right there. I feel like we should have broken you already. Oh, that brigade fire on Porterfield. How's your fatigue looking? Well rested? Very good. Time for another bayonet charge. And you guys are good too. Alright. They got distracted by this retreating unit, so now they're broken. And we're pumping shots into this cavalry unit even though they are not there. They're broken, but they just can't take any damage. Game thinks they're there, but they're not there, and it's just weird. I hate that glitch. Alright, boys. Bayonets, let's go. I think it's either going to be Crook's Brigade or Hancock's Brigade that gets a name, since they're doing all my bayonet charges so far. Return, charge them. Everybody goes in, boys. Who the hell's back here? Oh, poor commander. Thought it was one of his brigades. Where'd that brigade just go? Oh, there they are. Go get them, boys. Oh, one brigade just surrendered to us. Wow. Everybody get in there. Let's go. Units are reforming, so they keep coming back up in morale. But we have done a lot of damage to this army. We have done a ton of damage. And how many men did that unit just surrender with? 157. These guys' flanks have basically turned, so we can start moving against them. It's a shame the Pennsylvania regulars broke, but this glitch right here is what did them in. And the commander's killed on the first day. Oh, on the first charge. That brigade's broken. Very good. None of these units are reforming behind me, I hope. He looks like he has. Yep. That would be a good target for the cavalry if they weren't busted and on the other side of the river. All right, 11th Division. Time to come across. Oh, they finally retreated away. Morale 16. They're not going to be back before the end. Smart just ordered you boys forward. Let's go. There we go. Keep their flanks turning. Finish that battery off, please. Yep, starting to retreat. We got the major victory. Looks like we've done better than 2-1 on the casualties. There they go. break off. You're not going to be chasing the rebels down. Before the army breaks, we will chase down any units that we can, but as of now, no. This division halt orders. And speed this along. Didn't want that happening, but hey, we'll take it. That went a lot better than I thought it would. I was really worried about that one, especially with the numbers disparity. Oof. All right, we took down... Oh, my bad, I'm looking at the wrong one. So we lost 6,722 of our 41,856 infantry, 133 of our 2,430 cavalry, 0 of our guns. Total loss of 6,855 of our 44,856 men. Big hit for the size of our force, but compared to what we did to them, yeah. So we took down 15,000 of their 60,000 infantry. 550 to 3,500 cavalry. We got all 65 of their guns. Total loss of 16,000 of their 64,000 men. That's tasty. So, got 2.3, 2.4 men to every one of theirs. That's not bad at all. All right, let's go through the reports. All right, both corps actually did an almost equal amount of damage, a little over 6,000 each. Pennsylvania regulars did 9 to infantry, took 17 prisoner, total of 26. I didn't realize that cavalry was bugged out, and so this brigade did not do as well as it should have. It was also their first battle, so it broke easy, and their commander dying on the initial contact did not help. So, feel bad. I have a feeling he might also get defamed because of that. I hope not. 13th Infantry Division. 4th Brigade did 396 infantry, captured 64, 1 to cavalry for a total of 461. 2nd Brigade, 497 infantry, 54 to cavalry, 41 artillery for a total of 592. 3rd Brigade, 781 to infantry, 137 to cavalry, 78 artillery for a total of 996. Division total 2,049. 14th Division, Militia Brigade did 768 to infantry, captured 81, 36 to artillery for a total of 887. 2nd Brigade did 1,166 to infantry, captured 40, 20 to cavalry, captured 12, 12 to artillery for a total of 1,250. 4th Brigade did 1,546 to infantry, captured 148, 2 to cavalry, 6 to artillery for a total of 1,710. Division total 3,847. 12th Division. 3rd Brigade did 148 to infantry, 4th did 58, and 2nd did 13 infantry, 18 artillery for a total of 31, division total 237. This is the division that was on the far right flank. 4th Artillery Division did nothing. Division total is 12, so really didn't do anything of note. By the time I had those artillery in place and firing, their infantry was already starting to break and falling out of range. 3rd Corps, 10th Division. Negley's Brigade did 150 to infantry, 166 to cav for a total of 317. Wincoop's Brigade did 325 to infantry, 45 taken prisoner, 26 to artillery for a total of 398. 3rd Brigade did 427 to infantry, captured 364. 11 artillery, total of 807. Division total 1,522. 9th Division, Williams Brigade did 358 to infantry. Churchill's Iron did 1,323 to infantry, captured 100. Captured 20 cavalry, did 27 artillery, captured another 21. Division total, brigade total 1,494. 4th Brigade did 1,352 to infantry, captured 13. Did 52 to artillery, total 1,417. Division total 3,296. 11th Division, 2nd Brigade did 364 to infantry, captured 13. 38 to artillery, for total 423. 1st Brigade did 442 to infantry, captured 154. 11 to captured 11 cav, total 608. 3rd Brigade did 358 to infantry, captured 145. 15 to cavalry taken prisoner, total 518. Division total 1,549. And artillery division did 5. So, yeah. All right, officers. So we lost a few. So Colonel Blake, commander of Pennsylvania Regulars, was killed in action. I didn't catch this one. Colonel Abercrombie was wounded. Third Corps. Hancock's wounded. So 1 officer dead, 2 wounded for us. So we wounded Stewart. Okay, we got the Army commander. Captured Major Barksdale. And captured Brigadier General Koch. I have a feeling Jackson's going to be put in charge since we took down Stewart. Killed Captain Rosser. Wounded Colonel Hayes. And wounded Fulkerson. So we did a lot of, on top of all the casualties we caused, we did a chunk of damage to their officer corps also. So very good for us. I'll get closed out of here and I'll see you all at the newspaper screen. Glorious victory at 2nd Frederick. The Army of Maryland retreating in panic. The enemies reportedly suffered total casualties of 15,463 men. There are 1,548 killed, 6,641 captured. Our casualties total 6,855 men, with 1,155 killed, 1,197 missing, and the rest wounded. We've captured 8,851 rifles and 25 guns from the field and sent 5,932 soldiers off to our prison. Oh, they've been paroled because they don't have prison camps. That's right. And Colonel Blake did lose face. I'm not happy with that. I mean, that was not his fault. He died on initial contact. The brigade broke after he died. So he should not be getting defamed. All right, let's go do some officer replacements here. Third Corps had Hancock is wounded. Place them. You're an engineer. Yeah, Franklin, job's yours. Just making sure. I didn't write down the names of who was wounded, so I'm just clicking on everybody. And Abercrombie is wounded. Units from New Jersey. Revere, job is yours. And Blake, we gotta replace. Do you have any cavalrymen available? I really don't think Pennsylvania was known for its cavalrymen. There we go. David Gregg, job is yours. All right, we'll get this battle rolled off. And we are having issues right now, as it happened right before this battle. We've lost control of Columbus, Ohio. Funnily enough, the rebels marched right past Cincinnati, which was the bigger score, and came and took Columbus, forcing McClellan's Second Corps out of the way as he did not have the numbers to fight him. He only had 3,000 men in the force. I am recruiting more right now, as there's a force of about 15,000 in there. So I think the last of the viewer units are actually going to be going to Second Corps to help deal with the threat in Ohio. On that news also, 5th Corps is on the move, and they are now off the Bahamas and on their way to Texas. 6th Corps is still getting ready to move. They are now in the green, but I'm going to wait for them to go full green before I start moving them. I really want to have 5th Corps on land and building a supply depot before the other force shows up. But, yeah, let's get this one rolled off. That was a nice little victory, minus the casualties for the officer corps. It was a nice little victory. It's like McClaw's, okay. McClaw's taking command of this. They've taken Fort Washington. Great. They are just outside of D.C. Who the hell is down here? Hardee's Corps. 22,000 men. So it looks like we're rushing to D.C. At least the rebels are actually taking advantage of what I've given them. All right. McClellan, we got to pull you back. Pull back to Cleveland, please. You are not ready to fight. It's the Army of Northern Virginia, too, with 17,000 men, so they've actually gone up in strength. And an Army of Ohio. There's two forces here. Okay, things are starting to get interesting. Rebel AI is actually taking advantage now. That makes things a little more interesting. So don't worry if your viewer unit did not end up in the army heading to Texas. You're still going to see plenty of action. AI's making moves. I'm not used to seeing it make moves on. But I think this is a good place to end this episode right here. That battle did take a while. So, once again, if you'd like a unit in one of my armies, please let me know in the comments below. Type of unit, the state it's from, weapons, uniforms, and officers, and I'll oblige on all counts if possible. If the officer has to be created as an avatar, it is too late for that. They had to be created prior to the campaign start. I cannot plug in officers after the campaign begins. And also, once again, if you'd like to add some flavor to your unit and have diary entries or newspaper coverage of your units as they go through the campaign, please put that in the comments below and I will read them out at every episode. I think it adds a lot more flavor to the game, tracking the units down and giving them a little story to go along with the ups and downs of the campaign. Alright, so as I said, if you're a new viewer, return viewer, if you're not yet subscribed, please think about hitting that subscribe button. If you do, remember that bell icon so the next video comes out. And I will see you all in the next episode. Stay grumpy.